G'day, comrade subscribers. Hope you're all well. Let me just pull this out. I'm just removing the RF modulated output. Don't need that. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get very far with this. I've done some fiddling around, and I might be missing one of the clocks. So we'll have a quick recap. You can zoom in a bit. Where's my poker? Here it is. This will do. So we've got the CPU here, an MN1800A, so it can do up to 1.5 megahertz. According to the service manual, it's equivalent to a Motorola 6802, but that's not true. It's kind of 6800 and 6802 mixture, something like that. Anyway, so we've got the CPU there, we've got the two ROMs there, we've got the CRT controller, and importantly, this is where the clocks are generated, this surface mount kind of gate array type chip. We've got a peripheral interface here, kind of what's called a PPA, I think. It's like equivalent to two 8255, something like that. Down here we've got 4K of SRAM, so we've got 2K for the video RAM, 2K for the character RAM. Apparently it copies the character from the ROM to the RAM because it's faster. Then we've got a 4-bit microprocessor here that's got its own ROM and RAM. This is the keyboard kind of controller. I've got some multiplexers over here, and here we've got 64K of 4-bit RAM, so 32 kilobytes in total. Yeah, basically it's not working. It boots up, we get garbage on the screen. Keyboard's supposed to beep when you press buttons, but it doesn't, so obviously it's not working at all. So I have had a look around, and one of the clocks is missing. It comes out of this controller here. We'll have a closer look. Yeah, so that's the fellow there, the CRT controller. Unique chip. No way I'm going to be able to replace that. That's the CPU there, and you can actually see we've got two-phase clocks. So we've got clock one here, Φ1, and we've got Φ2 over here. This is the problem, I think. There's also a Φ2S, which is, I guess, for the serial interface. It's used over here. That's also generated here. I haven't looked at that yet. We'll have a look at it now. Yeah, so I guess either this isn't generating the second phase clock, or perhaps the clock's being pulled, the line's being pulled low. So perhaps there's an issue with the CPU itself. The CPU's failed. So maybe replacing it again. How am I going to get an MN1800A? Probably as much chance of getting one of these as I am getting one of those. Interestingly, it does have this here. So we've got this link here for 1800A, and then we've got this link here for 6800. This is connected to ground, and if we have this connected, I think we ground the Φ2 clock, the second phase clock. Instead, this pin here, which I think is the RAM enable, I think RE pin, that's grounded instead, which I think is this link here. So that link there is currently set. If we set that one there, I think we ground this. I'm assuming because this is ground, so I'm assuming that's what we will be doing. I don't see any mention of it in the service manual, so I don't really know. I don't think it will really help. But yeah, let's have a look at the signals. Actually, what I was going to do is I was going to pull out that RF modulator first. I don't need it. I've already pulled out the socket there, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Give a bit more space. Let's give this a go. Let me. I think it's all plugged in. 100 volts. I think that's that one there. Turn it on. We'll start recording. See, make sure we get some video output. Okay, right. So it's powered on. Right. So let's have a look at the two clocks. Where's my pinout? So pin 3 and pin 38 are the phase 1, the Φ1 clocks. Okay, that looks pretty good. 1.34 megahertz TTL, that's all good. Now the Φ2 clock on pin 37, nothing at all, completely dead. And I have checked, there is continuity. There's just nothing coming out of that gate array. Absolutely nothing. That's that Phi1 clock there. I was going to check the Phi2S, the serial output one. I just need to quickly check which pin it is. So Phi2S. Okay, Phi2. We can check Phi2. That's pin 43, which is the enable pin, and it's a 64-pin chip. Is it actually labelled? No, it's not actually labelled, is it? That's pin 40. What did I say it was? 43. No, it's pin 30. Okay, if that's pin 40, okay, pin 40 is D7. Pin 41 is reset, active low. Pin 42 is read write. And then pin 43 should be the Phi2. Oh, is that Phi2? Interesting. So there's Phi2 there, and the Phi2S should be on the other side, pin 29. So that's pin 30, pin 29. There's nothing there. I got it around. No, that's pretty sure. Yeah, ST, SDO, SDI, ST. That's 32, 31, 30, 29. So Phi2S is missing, but according to this, Phi2 is on pin 43. That's 41. That's 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Yeah, that's 40, 41, 42, 43. How curious. But then when we look at Phi2, over there it's dead. Okay, let me just do some more checking. So I'm all a bit confused. So that's the peripheral interface adapter that I've been looking at. So it's got ST pin and this enable pin. So according to this serial port SDO, SDI and ST, the timing clock signal is normally supplied to ST. So that I assume is the Phi2S. And then we've got this enable pin up here, which is over here, which is the MC6800. Not the what are we? HN1800. That's interesting. Phi2 clock is normally input to this pin, but there is no connectivity on this Phi2. And when you check it, as we saw, it was the Phi1 clock. So that's not the. So this is talking about a different chip. So this isn't very helpful. Anyway, let me just get this out of the way. I've been looking around the board. So I've traced the Phi2 clock. Goes up here. So a good thing I removed this. Goes up here and then doesn't go to here at all. Goes over here, down here, over here to an inverter, 74LS04 to pin 13. So my thinking, okay, I guess my simplistic thinking, I've got three options. Either the clock here has failed, so it's not generating the correct clock. There's a failure here, which is pulling the Phi2 clock line down, or easier to fix. Where was I? This one here. 74LS04 inverter. Maybe this is pulling the line down. So I could just remove that and see if that helps. I can replace that. Well, g'day again. So I've been a bit stuck trying to figure out why this Phi2 clock isn't working. So I've removed the inverter. So this is this generates the external Phi2 clock. So it inverts the internal Phi2 clock. Just in case this was bringing the line down. So it's not there. Still the line comes down. I disconnected it from the CPU, from the Phi2 pin. Still wasn't there. So definitely seems to be that the issue is the CRT controller that generates all the clocks. So I've got the logic analyzer set up just to have a quick look. The clock's generated there, and you can see it goes through an inverter before it goes to the CRT controller. So that's Tclk input, and then out from that comes Phi1, Phi2, and then Phi2S, which is used for the hardware timing. I guess the serial port and things like that, and for the board, for the not board rate, for the tape. Anyway, so we'll have a quick look at the logic analyzer. Actually, let's have a quick look at the service manual. So the service manual for the clock. Okay, so this is the basic timing. This is what it reckons. So this is the Tclk input. So this is the output from the crystal oscillator and the inverter. So 70 nanosecond period, I guess. Not worried about that. That's not actually connected. So then we've got Φ1 and Φ2. So you can see there is a little bit of, well, they are out of phase, but there's also a little bit of a gap, guard band, I guess. So I'm just wondering whether I could use a CPLD or something to try and replace the entire clock circuit and generate my own clock based on this Tclk input. Because then we get down here, you can see the RAM time. It all gets a bit complicated, although I think that's probably hopefully just a blown up version of that. Anyway, let's have a look at the I think the clock. Where's the clock circuit? That's how it's generated at the moment. So 14 point something, I think, here we go, 14.3181, which is 4 times the NTSC frequency, the something frequency, burst frequency perhaps, through inverters, and then pin 5 of the CRT controller, and then that's our 3 clocks that come out of it. So Φ1's working, Φ2S appears to be working, Φ2 is completely dead. Well, there is something. It isn't perfectly ground. There is a tiny signal if you really zoom in on the oscillator, on the oscilloscope, sorry. But otherwise, if this isn't working, the whole system's not going to work. And I can't replace this. Right, all set up. Power off. Start the logic analyzer, power on. There we go, so you can see pretty clearly Φ2 is definitely dead. So this is supposed to be the Tclk input, which was not 70 milliseconds period. Okay, that's not what the service manual says. Need to do some research, I guess. But perhaps, I don't know, based on this, I could maybe try and come up with something that'll replicate the CRT controller's timing. I need to use this as the input, so same input, generate this, and then generate whatever this is. But I need to confirm this from a working machine. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. So without that Φ2 clock, I don't know what else I can really do. So let's see. Anyway, let's stop that. Thanks for hanging around. Bye for now.